Read. What has it got in its pockets?
I got a wallet. What?
How about we takes it?
How did you get in here?
Live here.
Okay, how about no, you crazy
It's
slip.
mine. My own.
Okay, first of all.
My precious.
Okay. First of all, how rude of you to interrupt me.
Excuse me, it's mine now.
Okay, I'll go with that.
So
All right.
today we're taking a little break from
From Spooky.
Spooky because it's Hobbit Day. Hobbit Day. September 22.
Yes, September 22 is the Hobbit Day. Why?
Because you know why?
Bilbo's birthday.
And
Because
Frodo's birthday.
they had the same birthday.
Yep, they share the same birthday.
See, well, this is where we're going to show the audience that you are a huge Lord of the Rings, Tolkien nerd.
Tolkien. Yeah.
Not just Lord of the Rings, because
That's how it started.
that's how it starts.
But
But not how you started.
no. But yeah, today is Hobbit Day.
Yes.
It's a pretty big thing in the Tolkien verse.
Yes.
A lot of people celebrate it just by like reading the books, watching the movies, just
Dressing
simple
up.
stuff.
Living the life of a hobbit
Yeah,
for a
pretty
day.
Yeah.
Or some just live their lives as a hobbit for some, That's another
Apparently.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So we decided that today, as Hobbit Day,
we're gonna watch
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
I-
We were actually not sure if we were gonna watch Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit today, but we
Yeah.
were like, Hobbit.
Yeah, because in the Lord of the Rings, they celebrate their birthday,
Yeah.
Bilbo and Frodo's birthday, because I was like, okay, well, that would make sense on Hobbit Day.
True.
But they have 3 movies called The Hobbit, and there's
Yeah.
a book called The Hobbit, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, thanks to you, I actually got to listen to some of that book.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to the audiobook version,
Yeah.
and I kind of see where you're coming from as far as like the movies versus the
Yeah.
book.
You haven't even finished it yet.
No, I got like 3 hours left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not only is the audiobook, but it's the audiobook narrated
Andy Serkis.
by Andy
That
Serkis.
was actually really pleasant. I
The-
didn't
the
expect
very-
him to be.
The very voice of Gollum.
Yeah. He does really good voices throughout the
He does
audiobook.
superb of
Yeah.
voices.
So if
Like,
you guys ever get the chance, highly recommend.
yeah. And
pretty
he also recently recorded Lord of the Rings. He did
yeah.
all 3 Lord of the Rings books, but that you actually have to buy,
Yeah.
purchase, whatever.
That's still really cool of him, though.
Yeah.
With special guest. No. That would've been really-
Special guest Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
And Benedict Cumberbatch as Smog.
Smog.
It's like some sitcom, like
Yeah,
right. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, basically. Well, all right. So yeah, today's gonna be a very Hobbit, Tolkien centric.
I would say Tolkien-centered
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
I would say we'll focus a lot more on the Hobbit side, because we can do Lord of the Rings a separate day,
Oh yeah.
because very different vibe. Well, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
very different. but
Speaking of very different, so one of the first things I noticed after listening to the book was the Arkenstone.
doesn't appear.
Doesn't appear. I'm like fairly deep into. I haven't finished it, mind you, but I'm fairly deep into it, and there has not been any mention of any Arkenstone.
No.
So what's up with that? What?
I guess you'll have to find out. I'm not gonna
Oh, you're not
say
gonna
anything.
Say anything?
Yeah.
Really?
I either want you to be like surprised or like disappointed.
I might be both.
yeah.
Surprisingly disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I didn't think I would dislike this as much. Nah, I'm kidding.
So
Before Tolkien from my life.
So before we launch into this Hobbit session, today.
Yes, we're drinking 2 different kinds of beer today. I'm drinking Sapporo, which is like my beer of choice whenever I go to like a sushi place or a Korean barbecue place.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also drinking Guinness.
Guinness. Yep.
Yeah. Which is Jaxie's first time drinking Guinness.
Yeah, I've never had it, so
Yeah. How you liking it so far?
I like it.
Yeah?
I actually like this one over the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sapporo's a bit more like a lighter.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I feel like I prefer Sapporo in the cold mugs that they give you at the restaurants. To be honest. I feel
Yeah.
like it's
Well,
not
they
bad.
know how to serve it.
Oh yeah. And also the bottles are bigger.
Yeah, that's also true.
So much bigger. Oh my god.
But
Anyway.
so that's our drink of choice for tonight while we sit back and
Watch the Hobbit today.
watch The
and
Hobbit.
Just talk Hobbit-y things.
Hobbity things.
Yes.
Yes.
You know all.
You know what?
Oh yes.
This goes for a change of shoes. Hold
A
on.
change. Oh yeah, you got your Hobbit slippers.
I forgot. I
Yeah.
was gonna wear
Yeah.
these today.
Yeah, today is the day to wear them. Outside of every other day. If there was a day you needed to wear them,
If I
it would
could-
be today.
If I could have showed up to work like this,
You could have.
I was tempted to.
Just showed up.
Just show up with big
slippers.
Hobbit slippers. Like, hey, it's covering my feet, right?
Yeah.
No,
It's like,
it'd,
oh,
it'd be
it's
a
not-
very
no.
uncomfortable thing because
That too. Like those things are not
these are
gonna.
thin.
Yeah, they're not gonna come back in one piece.
No,
They
they
have
wouldn't.
like a whole bunch of like torn edges.
Yeah. The cool thing is, my fiance got me these for, I think it was either a Christmas or a birthday.
Yeah, that was actually really sweet of her.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yep, I'm gonna see him walking around with these feet."
These Hobbit slippers.
Because he loves them.
Yeah. Yeah, once she moves in with me, she'll see me with
have
my
to.
Hobbit feet. Yeah.
Like these people flying kites in the middle of a dragon raid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, we just started the movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much Bilbo is like
Retelling
writing.
the story of.
He's writing his story.
Yeah.
Because he has plans of leaving the Shire,
Yeah.
and so he's
Which,
like,
if
you know
you've
what?
seen Lord of the Rings, you know what happens.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I'm gonna make Toby
Delbert! Interference.
interference with the cats again.
Yeah.
Go up to no good. Anyway, so Bilbo is pretty much trying to retell all of the details,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that like Tolkien
Yeah.
kind of like put the stories together is that like Bilbo is retelling his side of the story,
Right.
and that's why it's the Hobbit,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like his whole story.
Uh-huh.
And then later it's Frodo who writes Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know how that all.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously
You
it
know.
makes sense because it would be really weird for Bilbo to write Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings.
No, I'm just like
Yeah.
how he tried to like.
Right.
But
Which, by the way, Tolkien was like writing in his book compared to how it was in the movie. I mean, obviously, the movie you're gonna need to change some things. You're gonna need to
Yeah.
change the way the story is presented. You know.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to have like things that hook the audience. Hence the dragon raid, like early on.
Well, yeah, but that actually did happen.
Yeah.
Like with the dragon.
It's not exactly how the book started
No, not
at all.
Oh,
You don't hear
the
about
book
the dragon
starts
raid till like
in the Shire.
you hear about the dragon raid in like pieces until they actually finally sit down and like talk about it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I only know that because I just listened to it today.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
true.
I basically juiced up before this show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the other thing, I didn't realize that I knew that like dwarves and elves had beef, like just generally. They made it seem so personal in the fucking movie, where
Yeah.
Thranduil is just like, oh yeah, we don't fuck with you guys because fuck you guys, we don't like them. They betrayed us. And in the book, it's like, oh yeah, we just don't fuck with them because, they're just doing their thing, we're doing our thing.
Yeah, and then because
Yeah.
we started the movie before, and I started rambling on about stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're gonna restart this,
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
So pretty much like dwarves and elves are never gonna get along.
True.
And that goes all the way back to Silmarillion era,
True.
which is literally right when the dwarves actually were like created and put into existence.
Yeah, because wasn't it like the elves first and then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so way back in the Silmarillion,
Yeah.
there's pretty much his name is Eru Iluvatar. That's how I pronounce it. There's other people who pronounce it differently. Either Iluvatar or Iluvatar. And he's the one who created everything pretty much.
He's the god
His-
of the gods, basically.
Yeah. And there was a thing called the children of Iluvatar, and those were the elves.
Mm.
But then there was the Valar, which were like kind of, I wouldn't say like demigods, because they still are like gods. And there was a specific Valar named Aule, and he's the one who was big into smithy, like foraging and stuff
okay.
like that, which explains all the dwarvish
Yeah.
side of like, like foraging everything. And Aule was like a really strong Valar, and he's the one who created the dwarves, but he created them in secret.
Oh.
Like he didn't tell Iluvatar, and eventually Iluvatar found out, and he's like, okay, you can keep the race of the dwarves, but you first have to wait until the first children come to existence, which were the elves.
Okay.
And then after that, the dwarves can come into existence, but they're always gonna fight.
Oh, so basically it's like, okay, you can keep this thing you made, but you're gonna have to wait your turn before.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, and then it's like,
And they're
kinda
always
like the kids are just always fighting amongst each other.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
Guys are weird.
Yeah, and that's like a rough
Yeah.
translation of it, but like
Yeah.
that's kind of what I got out of it,
Mhm.
and that's why dwarves and elves never get along, is because pretty much ever
The
since
gods
the first
said
the
like,
first
you
days.
guys just won't get along. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, because
Hey.
Aule made his race in secret
True.
from God, pretty much.
True.
So I
Like,
mean,
hey man, I can't just be doing my own thing here. Like, oh,
Because-
like, oh, that's cool, but let me do this other thing.
yeah, because first Aule was gonna like literally wipe out the dwarves like completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he realized his mistake of keeping it secret, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna destroy my creation. And then Iluvatar was like,
Wow.
okay, you know what?
It's like, okay, hold on.
You don't have to. You don't have to destroy all of them. Just keep them.
He's just trying to be a good dad to his
Yeah,
kid.
he was just like
okay, look, you don't gotta like flush it down the toilet
Yeah.
or anything. Like,
Actually, kind of, yeah. Which is pretty funny. It's like, yes, you messed up, but you can still keep
you
it.
can keep it
It's
because I mean, it's still.
just
I-
wait.
Just
Just hold on.
like I don't want to take this away from you. Like,
Yeah.
okay, just wait and yeah,
Yeah.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
So anyway, that was like a little brief explanation, and I could go on because.
Oh yes, you can.
Anyway, so we're now in the part in the movie where it's Frodo and Bilbo,
Yeah.
and Bilbo's trying to put all of his
This is
precious
pretty much
things away.
This is pretty much like right in the same like timeline of like when
Lord
the
of
Lord of
the
the
Rings.
Rings started.
Yeah.
Like right before Gandalf showed up and shit.
The day of
Gandalf.
the
and-
Hobbit
Yeah.
is pretty much his birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bilbo's
Hobbit Day.
birthday and
Bilbo's
Frodo's
birthday.
and Frodo's
Frodo's
birthday.
So many birthdays.
Yeah, and that's how it begins with older Bilbo
Mm-hmm.
with the Hobbit.
Yeah.
So, which I actually thought was it was a cool little intro. Like, oh, this is when Fellowship begins. Fellowship with the Ring.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like the conversations leading up before Fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
The fact that they did that. I'm like, oh yeah, well, it makes sense. They were literally having a whole other life right before, you know, shit had to get done.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like some, normal.
Yeah, they were.
Life?
Yeah, they were just having like a decent life, and then I didn't real. Okay, so
Well,
one thing I didn't realize about Bilbo was that I don't know why I never really thought about. I mean, I never really had to think about it. It was like the house
Yeah.
was like
Back end.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it was all like I get it's like their family home. I didn't realize it was like his dad who made it,
Yeah.
and that he made it with his mom's money because she was the one who was like going off on adventures and like
Yeah.
making all this money.
She was the one doing all the work, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I'll build you a
like
home."
I can build the home with your money.
But then you think about how big Bag End is.
Yeah.
It's really big. Like from the
Yeah.
outside, it's like, oh, some like little hill.
But to be honest, they don't really show you that many other
No.
places. So like, all you're gonna really have the only reference I had watching these movies was Bag End. I'm like, oh wow, these guys are really living it up. And then
Yeah.
I listened to the book, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like well-to-do. He's actually pretty rich, and also his dad had like all his money from his mom, built this house, and he just inherited it. I'm like, really? So
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins is just a trust fund kid?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, pretty much. But then he went on his own adventure.
True. Yeah. Then he went on his own adventure.
So
It's like, sorry.
he kind of redeemed himself
Yeah.
through,
No,
through
yeah,
the
he-
adventure.
He well went above and beyond and earning it
Yeah.
in the end, sure, but yeah.
And then
I just didn't realize was where he originated, which made everything he went through
Yeah.
a little bit more like, okay, I see where he's coming from now.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood his view on things a little bit clearer.
Yeah. But then at the same time, Bilbo was 50 years old when
50 years old. Yep.
so he literally spent 50 years of his life just living in a hobbit
Living it
hole.
up. Yeah. He had a nice life for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
So hey.
Which is why he was just like, because we're at the point where Bilbo is talking to Gandalf.
Yeah. I like
And
the
Gandalf's
dialogue.
like, I would like to share an adventure with you. And Bilbo's like,
what? Nah. I'm like, I mean, to be honest, if I was living in a house like that, like, like, nah, I don't need to go do anything.
second thoughts to that.
You know?
Because even he says it, he says like, adventures makes you late for dinner.
Yeah.
You're like, well, yeah, it does.
It does. Yeah. I actually didn't realize that the dialogue here was all Tolkien.
Mm-hmm.
That fascinated me. I was like, oh wow,
Yeah, Tolkien's a great writer.
yeah, clever.
He's amazing at
exchange
dialogue.
between Bilbo and Gandalf and Bilbo. I didn't realize that was just Tolkien. I honestly thought like the writers were just doing their own thing, but no, it made sense that they followed the books as closely as they could, even if they took some liberties in the Hobbit. Someone would let me know.
What? Just like the...
Not just things that went on, like how certain people didn't actually die, apparently, in the movie.
In the movie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you even hear about it? Or like, which characters?
Yeah. I heard about, so we're talking about Azog, or not, no, is it Azog?
Azog was a stupid villain that they put into the movie. Because he did exist as an orc, but
he was just a tale from before.
He was in a battle,
Yeah.
and he actually did die in the battle for Moria.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh yeah, that was on Moria. Fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they say that later when I think it's I forget who tells the tale, but it's when they're in Thorin's company and they're already traveling.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, this big battle in Moria some time ago, and there was this Azog dude, and he was a big threat. But then they defeated him.
But he died.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then all of a sudden the movie's like, oh wait,
We're
he's
turning him
not dead.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's why I got really confused
when
I first saw the movie, because I saw it in theaters, right?
Yeah. I mean, they needed some. I don't know. I guess they just wanted some sort of like villain for everybody to root against.
I guess. I don't know. It's just.
I don't know.
Plus, he looked really fake for me.
Oh well, yeah.
So-
Everything is all digital,
A lot of it was CGI, and I had a big problem with that. So,
which is fine. Like I don't have anything against CGI. It's just like
if you put too much,
you need to like have it like
like
it's like adding a seasoning to something.
when it's not needed.
Well, there's that too. But like maybe you just don't like pour the whole bottle of salt here.
Yeah.
Maybe don't add all that pepper.
It's almost
into this,
too much.
It's like, because like as much as I appreciate like CGI for what it is in certain scenes, when it's just like the guy's just gonna be talking, and not doing much.
Even then, I mean, you look at Lord of the Rings, and a lot, like most of the orcs, like up close, those actual like makeup artists, masks,
silicone, latex, and everything.
they were way better than a CGI orc. That's what I think. I mean, even like the goblins in Moria in the Fellowship, that was masked too.
Yeah.
And like makeup artists and stuff. I'm like, that's a lot
It was
scarier
really
than
well
CGI.
done.
Yeah. So I feel like that was one of the things.
Yeah.
One of the many things I didn't really enjoy, but
Yeah. But I mean, hey, what can you do?
yeah. I mean, I still really enjoy the series of The Hobbit, like the movies.
Oh, like they're fine movies on their own. It's just
Yeah.
when you have that point of reference, I imagine it's a very different.
It's very difficult to get through sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch like the really good parts of the movies, and then the rest
And then
are
you'll see the parts where it's like,
all fake and made up.
yeah, that's not oh god.
Like, yep, that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at Bilbo, just like nothing but a robe.
Yep.
Having some fish.
Well, he thinks he's just eating dinner by himself
He's just having his nice ass dinner.
for the 120th time.
Yeah. For the last 50 years, this has been his routine.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he does have a routine too.
Oh, he has to.
He's a Baggins.
Yeah. And then here comes this.
Dwalin.
At
your service.
At your service. I actually really like the accents of the dwarves.
Yeah, I didn't mind
I
them.
find them very handsome.
Yeah, it was rugged. What would I say?
Oh, just like very, I don't know. Very dwarven. I don't know how else I could describe it. Really, it's just like a very strong. Like it doesn't beat around the bush a lot. Like okay, I like this because it's good and I like it.
Pretty much, yeah.
But don't fuck with me. Like.
Yeah, like, I wasn't like some of the casting of the dwarves were good, but like. To be honest, I didn't like Feely and Keely because they weren't supposed to be that young. I think they were actually at the same age as Dwalin and Balin.
Supposedly they were
something
the
like
youngest.
Well, they were the youngest, but like they were still around like
that age.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was that much of an age difference. Now that I think about it.
Because like in the movies, they look like they're in their like their 30s.
Yeah. Yeah,
but then like
they look like
in the books they're like
most eligible
something.
bachelor. You
know,
it's
just like I don't think so.
Like they were just the youngest amongst the dwarves.
Among the dwarves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like.
But they had to have like handsome dwarf in there.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, these two are dwarves without like a big beard and like dwarves and like Middle Earth.
They look more like Vikings, you know.
Yeah.
Which I guess.
It looks
it
cool.
skirts the line. It skirts the line where it's like, not quite dwarf, but we'll allow it.
Yeah,
you know.
Pretty much.
And these guys are about to give it. They're like the epic headbutt. Boom.
Yeah.
Like they should have broken that skull.
Yeah. So we're at the point in the movie where Dwalin and Balin have just arrived.
The dwarves are coming.
The dwarves are, yeah.
Yeah. How much like alcohol do you think Bilbo had? Before the dwarves.
He had a lot of wine.
He
did. I don't think he was.
I don't think he was like into hard stuff. Nah, he probably just had like a bunch of wine. Maybe some mead.
Maybe.
Mead's cool. I like mead.
But I feel like he had a lot of wine, because I think in the Lord of the Rings they actually break out some wine too. So I think it was mainly that, just because it was like high class,
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that would make sense.
And here come more guests.
More dwarves.
Our Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have a beard.
No.
I'm like.
He has stubble.
Yeah,
like more stubble. Like
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I wasn't sure about that, but things happened.
Yeah. They could have given him like some pretty nice looking beards. Maybe not as long as like the other guys, but
no, but
they could have had some beards. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, the look works. Maybe somewhere else.
Yeah. The one thing I did like was Martin Freeman's performance as
Bilbo.
No,
yeah, it's like everybody's coming into my home. Like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, yeah, there's food over here, but like, hold on, who's here?
Yeah.
Who else is coming in?
It's just like I could really see like the Hobbit in him. Like, he acts very much like a Hobbit.
Honestly, I feel like the way they wrote it in the book too helped a lot. Like just being like, oh, okay, so I could.
Yeah.
It's easy to get into the vibe with hope. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah. That moment in that book too.
Yep. all the compiling and
everybody's
Gandalf's
on top
behind
of
him.
Thorin.
Yeah.
And he's just like, just don't mention it.
Yeah, it's just like,
just don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, his acting as a Hobbit through all three movies was good.
Oh yeah.
Even though like most of it was made up, but just
no. Honestly, I feel like Martin Freeman was excellent.
Yeah, he's the one who really like brought everything together. I feel like because Gandalf, he's like an icon in fantasy pretty much, but. He had a lot of trouble making this movie just because he had to act a lot of his parts alone.
Really?
Yeah. So right now they're all in the back end, right?
Yeah.
All of this is like CGI work.
Edited.
Where he was alone in his own little prop house.
Dude, I had no idea.
Yeah. And then he had to like act everything out. Like he had to make sure like where to point and where to talk to and all that stuff. And the rest of them were in some other house, doing about their own stuff. So it was really hard for Ian McKellen to act when he doesn't even have somebody in front of him.
Yeah, somebody to go off of, basically.
Yeah, like nothing except for like his his lines and
That's,
just like where to
I
look.
had no idea that's what they were doing.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
and he almost like broke down on one of the days. And
Yeah?
he was close to like not finishing
Damn.
or something like that. It was like really drastic, and
It's gotta be rough.
that's what happens when you work like almost all CGI stuff. Like
Yeah.
in Lord of the Rings, they figured stuff out with like like angles and like boxes and whatnot.
Literally using all sorts of props.
Yeah, but like they still did like face to face things, and that's why it made it so much better. But
It made it feel more natural.
yeah, it was more natural. Yeah, so
Yeah, I had no idea about that. Wow.
yeah, it was rough for him. Because I feel like he's obviously he always does a good job with Gandalf, but like his performance on Lord of the Rings was better
Yeah.
than this Gandalf in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Just because it seemed more fake in a way.
Well, yeah, because he...
Because he was like, yeah, I'm here for Gandalf, and most of it's just going to be CGI work.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you get into character like that when you can't even see the dwarves in front of you, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's a rough way.
Yeah.
Bilbo's doing his best to still be like a decent host.
Yeah. He's like, okay, there's everybody in here. I'm just going to try to make it clean.
Yeah.
But I can't, because
didn't-
they're dwarves!
Like, I didn't realize I was throwing a party today, but apparently I am, so let's make the best of it.
Yep.
It's like people just keep showing up.
Yeah. So, I guess this is kind of like my first, I don't know. Have I asked you a question yet?
You might have, but hey, let's
Here's my first question
yeah.
for you is like, how did you get introduced to Tolkien or Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit?
Right.
You know, whatever was first.
So obviously it was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was one of those cases of me going over to my cousin's place, my older cousins, and these are like the favorite ones. They were the ones who always had like the video games, the coolest toys, like all the nice shit, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently they had Lord of the Rings.
The movie or the game?
I think the movie. They also had the game.
Yeah.
And so I think I started off with the movie, and I couldn't even tell you which one of the. It might have been Two Towers. It might have been The Fellowship. I couldn't really recall. But it all started with like watching with them. But I would never, for years, be able to like sit down and finish a movie.
Finish everything.
Because every time like we started watching it, it was like not maybe like an hour and a half until they're like, oh hey, so we gotta go home. And I'm like, really? Can't I just like sleep over or something? Like, nope, we gotta go. They live in Chicago and we're not in Chicago. I'm like, yeah. Which, by the way, I'm from Chicago.
You've given us away.
I've given us away.
No!
Yeah, no, we're children of the corn.
Actually, that's me.
It's more you than me, to be honest. I'm a city boy.
I'm from Iowa.
You're the cornhead.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am the ex-cornhead.
Ex-cornhead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now you're
because I live
now
here
you're
now.
out in the suburbs, so you've taken a step out of the cornfields.
Yeah, but I still come back every now and
Yeah,
then.
you do.
Nibble on the kernels.
Good times.
Good
I love
times.
me some corn too, though.
Anyway.
I like to visit. Yeah, and well, I mean, what could I do at the time? I couldn't just plant my feet down and go kick and screams. I mean, come on, I had some dignity as a 6-year-old boy.
Yeah. Have you ever read any of the books?
I did try.
Which one?
I think I was actually starting with Lord of the Rings because I remember. So like so it was in middle school. My middle school at the time had this, which by the way I moved to like a bunch of different middle schools as a kid. I moved around a lot as a kid. I think I've said that before.
I think so.
But yeah, so the one I was at the time had this. So the library was fairly decent for a middle school, and they had this like point system where they had this like little shop where like depending on like the number of points you get reading books after doing like a test, basically.
Yeah.
Giving like off like the summary of the book. If you racked up enough points, or if you passed that test, you earned all the points off that book.
Yeah.
right? So
I think I had something similar to
yeah,
that too.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I saw the Lord of the Rings was there, and I'm like, oh wow, this thing's worth like 23 points. Huh. I mean, I've seen the movie.
So you kind of went off of that.
So I kind of went off of that.
Yeah, good luck.
And I was like reading the book, and I was like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. Because that sounds right.
Yeah, because it's the books.
And then I go on to the test, and I didn't pass.
Yeah.
Because like even the librarian was like,
You probably just watched the movies.
you probably just watched the movies, didn't you? I was like,
Maybe.
no. I read the book. She's like,
Oh yeah?
Okay.
Who's Celeborn?
she's like, okay, take your test.
All right.
I'm like, fuck, I really gotta pass this test.
So who was the one who saved Frodo? Who was it?
From what? You're just throwing me in the dark here. I don't know. Like,
Who's the one
save Frodo from what? Like,
Who's the one who saved Frodo from the ring race on the river?
on the river? Oh, Arwen.
Not in the books.
Fuck!
Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah, that was pretty much my first foray into Lord of the Rings until finally I was able to sit down and watch a movie, which really felt like a big deal at the time.
Yeah. So that was your first exploration into Middle Earth.
Yeah, and this was just me hanging out with my cousins.
Yeah.
And then with video games and stuff,
Yeah,
playing
because then
them.
they came out.
Yeah, and then whenever we would like do like the lines, like my cousins and I, we were like 3 of us.
Yeah.
So we would all try to be like one of
Oh.
the main like
Aragorn,
Aragorn,
Legolas,
Legolas, and Gimli, and I was always ending up as Gimli. And I'm just like, well, I mean, Gimli's kind of
Yeah,
cool though.
yeah,
I'm like,
right.
he's pretty badass. He's just like
Yeah.
chopping down orcs. I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay, yeah, I'll take Gimli.
Yeah.
Even though I like kind of really liked Legolas because he was just such a badass.
Yeah.
He was the one doing like all the dope
The stunts
like the
and-
stunts.
and
He was
the
like flying around,
sharpshooting.
like stabbing people with the arrow and then shooting them back again with the arrow. But yeah, sliding down on the orc shield and shooting people with the arrow. Yeah, he was badass. But Gimli was pretty cool too. And I was once I played the games more, saw what he could do. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna break all the things.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then he was just like throwing axes. I'm like, oh, that's dope as fuck. But
So when was the first time that you, let's say, like saw The Hobbit? Because you haven't read The Hobbit, right?
Right. No, I didn't read the Hobbit. I mean, I saw it when it more or less
First came out.
It took me a little bit longer, but maybe like a year after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in those days, like watching movies illegally was still a thing.
Yeah.
So
Just like downloading music.
I mean, yeah, I remember it was like some cousins of mine from like Texas or something who like showed me this website that I could use at the time
to watch movies.
to watch movies, and I was like, okay, cool. And that's how I saw The Hobbit.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, I was just on my family's computer, just like annexing it for like the next 3 hours
That's
or
funny.
2. Yeah, I'm just like, look, nobody bother me. I'm watching this movie.
Yeah, like just
Legit.
nah.
Yeah, just yeah. When did The Hobbit come out actually?
Like
2010, something like that?
Like 12,
Oh,
13?
2012.
I don't know. Hold on.
I think I was still in high school, if I remember.
Yeah, I think so. 2012.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah. I was like a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that
remember
feels like such a long time ago. Even though it's not that long, but
I was really excited
oh
when
yeah,
that came out
I
because
imagine.
never got to see Lord of the Rings in theaters, so this was kind of like my chance of
Man,
getting
wouldn't it
into
be
The
awesome if
Hobbit.
they like decided to just bring back Lord of the Rings into theaters?
They did that
Oh, they did?
actually. When was it? Before COVID.
Oh,
They actually put it in theaters, Return of the King.
yeah.
And
Return of the
I
King.
really, they put Return of the King, and I really wanted to go see it. And I told my fiance about it, and she said that we would, but then like something
Came up.
yeah, I don't remember. It of course it landed on a day that we were like busy, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, makes
know?
sense. It's like when we wanted to watch like when me and your fiance Kari wanted to watch the My Hero movies, but
Yeah.
they were all sold out.
Literally all sold out.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
just couldn't find anything. But we did see a bunch of cosplayers, so
Mm.
I think we just watched like Fright Fest,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. But hey, it is what it is. But That happens. There'll probably be another one at some point.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
I mean, they came out with like what, Jurassic Park in theaters, like maybe like what, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
which was
Something
something
like that. Yeah.
That must have been something.
Yeah. Like, wait,
You know.
what?
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
But we're not here for Jurassic Park.
Nah, we're here for the Hobbit.
We're here for the habits, hobbies. Hobby gobbies. Gobbies come later.
You know what? You know what's actually kind of funny?
What?
Is that the very first Tolkien book that I held in my hand
Yeah.
was the Silmarillion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
like,
was the first one.
Like legit, that was my
Wow.
first like look into kind of Middle Earth because you know Silmarillion takes place in like a kind of takes place in Middle Earth. I would say that.
It's basically like a lore.
It's,
Kind of like a prequel.
It's the history to
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings
In a sense, yeah.
and Middle Earth, pretty much. But
Yeah.
so
Basically, it's just like the major world history of it.
yeah, how everything started and
Yeah.
why everything's the way it is
It's
right
like the
now.
creation mythos
Yeah.
with some historical things that happened.
Yeah.
That led up into
To Lord of the Rings and the
Yeah.
Hobbit.
the
yeah.
big stories that
Yeah.
Which did you want to talk about the series or?
I don't know because
I feel like
there could be a lot of comparisons between like the book and the movies, or like series as in what?
I was going
movie
to talk
series?
about like the TV series that was
Oh,
gonna
the TV series.
you want to share
We
your
could-
thoughts there? Or?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Because it's not really like Hobbit related.
Oh, that's true. It's Hobbit Day. We got to talk about Hobbits.
Yeah, I'll just say this as like a little introduction to it. Is that Amazon is making a Lord of the Rings series.
Yeah.
And supposedly that they're making it in the Second Age, which they kind of went into it in the books. Because there's appendixes at the end of the Lord of the Rings, and it kind of
Like
has...
okay.
It's at the end of the book. It's a bunch of appendixes, and some of it delves into like the history, like brief history. So I'm guessing that Amazon bought those rights, and now they're kind of like extending off of that.
Yeah. Basically, they're trying to make it like the next Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
By the sounds of.
Yeah, and like I could go for a long time about that, but pretty much Amazon's making the Lord of the Rings series, and I'm not a fan of it so far, and that's coming from me. So you know.
And coming from us, Game of Thrones fans, I mean, we liked how it started, but not like Lord of the Rings just doesn't fit that vibe.
No, it doesn't.
And this is coming from me as like a fan of both, like Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, well, it's just because Lord of the Rings doesn't focus on like the political fantasy.
No, yeah, it's very political fantasy.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is.
Yeah.
Fantasy is like a low like background thing. Like it's a major
yeah.
thing, but it's towards the back, and then like
Yeah, because
towards
like
the end,
Middle Earth
it becomes a big factor.
Yeah, because like Middle Earth is all about like adventures
Yeah.
and epic fantasies.
Yeah.
You know, like,
The
really
friends
strong.
we made along the way.
Kind of.
It kind of is though. You can't tell me no.
Kind of. Because like here in The Hobbit, it's all about like this ordinary dude that all of a sudden ends up on this really
Extraordinary journey.
journey, and like
He has to do
he gets-
extraordinary things.
yeah, he gets
Become an extraordinary gentleman.
he's a kingsman.
He joins the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. With Sean Connery.
Connery.
We haven't done Sean Connery in a while. I just realized. Holy shit.
That's true.
Yeah, we have a lot of inside jokes.
But I mean, that's what I mean though. Like The Hobbit is all about like being like on a grand adventure and like just
Right.
changing along the way, but like seeing like what you've done before and like who you are after the adventure. You know, all that stuff. It's really
Which
fun.
it very much did change Bilbo by the end of it.
Yeah, it really did.
I wouldn't say it like humbled him the most, but
No, but like he
has a very different outlook.
on like outside, like the world. I would
Like he's
say.
actually seen the world, and like I could only imagine like seeing the things he's seen and then coming back home.
And he's just like, man, there's a lot out there.
Wow.
And he only went to Erebor. He didn't even go like south toward, you know, like Gondor and Rohan. He didn't even go near that.
He basically just got like a little taste, and he was like, "Damn,
Yeah.
what are we doing here, man?"
Yeah.
That's gotta be a hell of an eye opener.
Yeah, especially for like one Hobbit that's been stuck in his home for 50 years.
Yeah, living the simple life.
Yeah.
You know, and they
But-
do say that ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, and I do like Gandalf's quote of him saying like, the world isn't in your maps and books. It's out there.
It's out there.
And I'm
yeah.
just like, ooh, yeah, that's very true.
Damn, yeah, you can't just look at it. You gotta actually go and see
Yeah.
it.
Well, I think this is more like you can't fantasize about the world. You have to actually go out and explore it.
Well, I think we got to the same conclusion in the end.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's I like those kind of quotes.
Yeah.
And the world, how was it? Home is behind and the world is ahead. You know, that sort of stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool
there was
too.
a line like that. Well, not quite like that, but where in the book. So yeah, as I was listening to it today, where Bilbo's like stuck in the caves.
Yeah.
And he's like not really sure like what to do or where to go, and he's like, okay, I can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
Sideways is impossible. I'm in a cave. So what's there left to do? Forward. It's
Forward.
the only way to go. So
And he has
I guess
to.
we gotta go forward.
And he has this glowing sword. Sting!
His little sting.
Sting!
Which I realized like everybody else was like all the monsters and shit like were calling it Sting before it actually had a name. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I guess I'll call it Sting.
Yeah. Oh, because of those
Yeah,
spiders.
because of those spiders.
Because
He's
it
like, oh, you
stung
have a
their
little
skin.
sting,
Yeah.
Oh, you got a little sting, huh? Oh, okay. Well, have some webbing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
Have some steel!
which, by the way, talking spiders,
Yeah.
terrifying.
Talking spiders.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Regular spiders,
Scary.
scary.
Talking spiders.
Terrifying. Spiders, giant spiders, horrifying.
Giant talking spiders.
Yeah, spiders with hands instead of feet.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Horrifying.
They're all walking on their fingertips. It does like that piano thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And they all talk like,
Yes, it's time to eat our prey.
Spiders shouldn't have hands.
no.
They don't need them.
But for the record, in The Hobbit, the spiders do not have hands. It's just
That
it's
was
just giant
me.
spiders.
That's just me.
Yes,
Saying
it's just
some
giant
bullshit.
spiders not calling,
Yeah.
saying that Bilbo's sword stings, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna name my sword Sting."
Yeah, I mean, it made sense.
Yeah, because he was like, "Man, like everybody else's sword has a title, and
A
I
dope-ass
don't have
name.
one
Because it's a letter opener.
because it's a letter opener, really."
And you were, and Bilbo was supposed to wake up early to make breakfast, and then everybody's gone.
Yeah,
So like, what
he
the
probably
fuck?
just gave up. He was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
He's like, no, they just ate all my food.
Well, after the last night, he's like,
Yeah.
"Nope."
And now he's just like standing there, like, damn, did that really happen?
Yeah.
It's like,
Did
I'm
I-
not sure if that
did
really
I-
happened.
How much wine did I have?
And then they left him a note, which he
Yeah.
didn't see the note in the book until Gandalf presented it to him.
Yep, pretty
I'm
much.
like, wow.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I'm going on an adventure.
I'm going on an adventure. Yeah, pretty much.
We
But-
Bagginses were very well respected before
Yeah.
you came along. Oh, I just gave him a
Indeed.
little
Nudge out of the door. Whatever you did, you've been officially labeled a disturber of the peace.
Yep. Frodo and Gandalf.
Yeah.
Little nudge out the door. Fuck, you brought the whole
Yeah, I know,
fucking
it's-
party to his house,
And then-
to his doorstep.
And then you let him into a dragon lair.
Yeah. Nudge out the
Because
door.
he's like, I was barely involved,
I was
too.
barely involved.
Barely
He was also
involved.
saying all these things after he said that he was never late. After
Yeah.
he was supposedly delayed by
You're
Saruman.
late.
You're late.
What happened, Gandalf?
I was delayed.
Like, you're never late. A wizard's never late.
I was like, oh yeah, so that bullshit you were telling me like earlier at the start of this film. Yeah, Gandalf.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I just want to say, Andy Serkis does an awesome Gandalf.
He does.
To be honest.
Oh, I know. I loved his.
Yeah.
I was wondering that because the first time I heard the audiobook, I'm like, I
Yeah,
wonder
the
what his
audiobook.
Gandalf's is gonna be like, and I'm like,
Right?
yeah, that fits. That
He did
totally
really
fits.
well. He did really well.
He
I
did
think he
good.
nailed his Ian McKellen impression of it, to be honest.
I would say so.
Yeah.
He has that low gravelly voice.
Yeah, he really
So-
does. I was like, damn, it's like butter in my ears.
I
Jesus.
know. I'm just like, yeah, I can listen to this for hours.
Yeah. It's 10 hours.
Yeah. For just The Hobbit.
Just The Hobbit.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings is a bit more in it.
Well, yeah.
It's like, what, 12 hours?
Considering, well, yeah, per book.
Oh, shit!
Yeah. It's a long time to read The Lord of the Rings, especially
Long
out
time.
loud and with different voices and
Oh, that
all
one's
the
with
characters and-
different voices.
Oh,
The
you
audiobook?
mean with Andy Serkis?
Oh, is it with...
He did it recently. I don't know how long it is.
Oh.
I haven't checked it out because, you know,
Yeah.
I'm on a budget.
Yeah, that's fair.
So-
We're all on a budget.
Because if I start looking at Lord of the Rings things, I'm like, I want all of it. So
It's like me with D&D.
yeah, pretty much.
Which I was like that when the new book just released. But
Yeah. No, I have like I know that on my laptop I have an audiobook downloaded, but the reader, it was like way back
Oh,
in the 80s or 90s or something that he read it.
Really?
Yeah, it was some like older guy. I forget his name.
oh, okay.
He did a pretty good job, and that like they separated it by
Yeah.
how Lord of the Rings is separated is like the Fellowship of the Ring is separated into 3 books. So it'll say like book 1, book 2, book 3.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's kind of
Damn.
how that is. So
Okay.
technically there's like 9 in a way.
Wow, that's fascinating. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
And
Huh.
so like the audiobook, how they structured it was
Right.
that they have like, book 1, this, book 2, this,
Okay.
So they kind of structured it like book by
Probably,
book.
but I mean, if you're talking about like 80s and 90s, you're also probably talking about like when they were still using like tapes, you know, and they had to like
Probably,
they
I
had to
don't
break them up because they could only like sort them out, like set them apart, like they could only basically pack that tape. with
Oh,
as
my
much,
bad.
you know.
Okay, so it's just book 1 and 2.
Ah,
But that's what I mean right here, see? So I have the book in front of me.
yeah,
And this is
a very old book
copy.
where like the cover's not even
Cover
on anymore.
is missing on mine.
Yeah.
This one,
This is like a proper old tome.
yeah, this one.
It's a relic of a more civilized age.
I don't know what civilized age. Here it is. This is the 1965 copy of The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
so
it's up there.
pretty old.
Get your old.
Very old.
No.
No.
Sorry. Like a lot of references.
Yeah.
But damn, I mean, the pages are all like yellow stains and shit.
Yeah, it's old. It's an old book. Anyway,
It has
so
that old
I have.
book smell.
Yeah. No, not really.
Not really?
No.
Oh.
It's kind of faded. But anyway, because I have the book in front of me, and yeah, it's separated into 2 books. So the first one goes from. Well, it says Lord of the Rings. Why am I talking about Lord of the Rings?
We're supposed to be talking about
Talking about the Hobbit.
God damn it! We did it again! We got sidetracked! We're terrible podcasts, so son of a god, we just gotta quit. Just throw the phone out the window.
That's it. I'm done.
That's it. It's over.
It's over. I'm done. Oh no! It's Lord of the Rings too. No.
Everything is back.
It's just both of us probably prefer Lord of the Rings, like
Probably
film
yeah.
wise.
Yeah, film wise, yeah.
Because you haven't read it yet.
It's a
but-
lot of quotes too.
Yeah.
A lot of memeage.
Yeah.
You know, Gimli being happy because he got Galadriel's hair.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 strands.
I asked
And
her for
that-
a single strand, and she gave me 3.
And that goes actually back to Silmarillion too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How?
Galadriel's that old, and
yeah.
she was the daughter of forget. I was gonna say one of the
Important
Valar,
figure.
a very important figure, or Galadriel was the daughter of the daughter of the Valar. Like she was super important. She still had the light of the Silmarils in her.
Right.
Galadriel did, and so that's why like when Gimli asked her for like a strand of her hair, that means he's literally asking her for like at least a portion of the light of the Silmarils.
Wow. So that is a big deal then.
It
that
is
you-
a super big deal when she gave
Wow.
it away. Yeah, like it's big. And then like, Legolas,
Uh-huh.
he sees this and he knows all about
Oh, yeah.
the elven history, and he's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, you know about these gems, like you're actually like pretty cool now.
Yeah.
Because after that all
Yeah,
happens,
they become a lot cooler.
they come a lot closer.
Yeah.
Because before they get captured, by the elves, they're still kind of iffy. But then after Gimli's like, hey, can I have it's trained over here. Legolas is
Yeah.
like, huh, I have respect for this guy
It's
now.
like, you know what? He knows. He's cool. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
Kitty interference.
Yep. Again. Yeah. But anyway, that's Lord of the Rings again.
Yep.
We're at the point in the movie where they're talking about Thorin
Basically, his origin.
and his kind of origin.
Yeah. Like the thing that made him like a lot more well known.
The way he became Oakenshield.
Which I'm not gonna lie, the fighting this is where I'm like, okay, CGI fighting sequences,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Could have done with a little bit more, the real deal, but like,
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah. I know.
Because it looks like
Well-
I'm just watching like a very, like I'm playing a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked so
A good quality video game, mind you.
in this. Yeah. In this part of the movie, they're showing like the Battle of Moria.
Yeah.
Of how the orcs kind of like took over, and yeah, it literally does look like a cutscene from a video game because of like all of the CGI that they use. Like Thorin's the only guy there that's like not CGI,
Basically.
so it's yeah.
Yeah, he's the only guy in this whole army
It just
that
feels-
isn't CGI.
It feels like it.
You know?
It really does feel like it though.
Yeah, the fact that they...
It's very dramatized.
Yeah.
This movie is.
Yeah. Though it is nice to see like more dwarves take center stage.
It is nice, and I say that they could have split it into 2 movies.
Sure.
Probably,
Yeah.
I could see 2 movies happening
Yeah.
of them maybe extending some stuff
Yeah.
just to like make the movies longer, or
Right.
whatever. But like at least keep track of the story and make sure
Now they're
everything's
like,
right.
nah, we're gonna have a trilogy.
Yeah, just because Lord of the Rings had a
Nah,
trilogy.
We're gonna get some money out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna do our own thing too.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
we're
follow
gonna
the
make up a
books.
character.
Well, we're gonna add like a couple characters, and the orc guy's still alive. Yeah.
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 It's a whole bunch of changes.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
That's business.
yeah. So
Otherwise, I mean, Thorne's kind of badass in that one. Though.
yeah, he is. And I think
Which also, he has a longer beard in the books.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
All
yeah.
of them do.
Oh, they're like his
Yeah.
length of beard. Yeah.
They're like legit. They're like talking about the beards wagging.
Like all of them too.
Yeah,
like,
all
literally
of them.
All of the dwarves have huge beards.
Like, what are these dogs? Basically,
That's what I mean. Like when I said earlier, where how like Feely and Keely had like stubbles.
Yeah.
It's like no,
Thorin at least has like a full beard, but not like dwarf.
he hasn't got
The full dwarf beard.
yeah.
You know.
Like the long hair is fine, whatever. They have long hair, but like the beard part, they didn't quite get that. But of course that was for show and for
Yeah,
you
they're
know.
just trying to get that going.
That's-
Oh, hey, orc guy didn't die.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It was all like dramatized and like it's all for show and like I think that's where they just went wrong.
Yeah.
Just for like we're gonna make this trilogy for money
Yeah.
because we have the rights to do it. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, they were okay. They were good movies for what they were. You know.
I actually prefer the first one, this Unexpected Journey, because most of it was in the book.
Yeah, they actually followed the book pretty closely.
Yeah, in the first movie,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
and then it kind of dropped off in the second. And
Like I'm basically already towards like the partway through like the second movie, basically with the audiobook.
yeah,
Because like I'm all in Lake Town right now.
Oh,
Like
you're
they're
in
just,
Lake Town,
Or you know
yeah.
what? Yeah, I'm starting like basically on the. Oh no, it's the second movie because they are barely starting to find ways to get into the mountain where I
yeah,
left off.
yeah.
Like
So
7
they
hours
crossed
in.
the lake then?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they crossed the lake. So yeah, pretty much.
So second
Yeah, second movie. Because second movie is when they
Which is
meet
where I was
Smog.
expecting the dragon to start fucking shit up.
What?
The second movie.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
That's kind of what I expected when you're going to title something The Desolation of Smaug.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting that too.
But, you know.
No, they reserved 10
Like,
minutes.
and see you next year, guys.
And then they're like, hey, he's back, but you're
For
going
like
to see
5
him for
minutes.
like 10 minutes and now he's dead.
and he's dead.
It's like, come on.
They also introduced Radagast really quickly in this movie, huh?
Yeah.
But they kind of have to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, and otherwise he's only get like 5 minutes.
Yeah, true.
You know, like, oh yeah, there was that weird guy.
That weird guy that lives in the forest and
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Has bird like shit going down his face.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is interesting.
Interesting design choice.
You know, there's 5 wizards. Do you know that?
I think I did. I just didn't know who the other ones were. I knew
They're
it's
called-
Saruman, Radagast, and Gandalf. I
Gandalf.
just didn't realize who the other two.
Then there's the blue wizards. They're called the blue wizards.
Blue wizards.
The blue wizards.
The blue wizards.
They come to Middle Earth way in the beginning of the age. Yeah.
Stop it.
And they are, well, you know, this.
Okay, no, honestly, stop it. Like,
Pretty much all the wizards
Right.
were sent to Middle Earth to pretty much, stop, evil stuff from happening
Right.
or whatever. Radagast got distracted because he loves nature, so he
There's a
protects
lot
the
of
animals.
nature. Yeah.
Obviously, Saruman, betrays Gandalf in the end.
The world, pretty much.
Just in the, just mankind in general. And then the 2 blue wizards, which were, man, I used to know their names.
Oh, not a real fan
One
anymore,
begins
huh?
with the P, I think.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Jackson, you're going to have to revoke your Tolkien
Nah.
Foundation card now.
Yeah, probably. Here it is.
Here it is. I'm not a real fan.
Not a real fan because I don't know the blue
I
wizard's
can't read
name.
and speak Elven.
But apparently, like, the 2 blue wizards,
Yeah.
you know how there's Middle Earth, and way off to the east side is a region called Rune. Past that is more land
Okay.
that, like literally, like, nobody really cares about, and it's all, I think.
what
I
is
think
it?
it's
Is
like
it-
desert and.
Oh, yeah. So kind of like where the armies from the east or whatever that.
The
Sauron
Easterlings?
was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more
Okay.
toward like the southeast,
Oh.
near Harad. 'Cause the Haradwith and like the Easterlings, so kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
way past Rune is like,
Yeah.
I think there's like a forest way on the other side too.
Okay.
But like the Blue Wizards, supposedly they got either lost or because
Okay.
it's actually a long way
Okay.
past Rune. And then another theory
Okay.
is that the Blue Wizards were caught in a cult, some sort of like really weird cult, and they couldn't escape
out.
or anything.
Okay.
And
So
it
they were just
explains why they
basically
can't come back.
They were just basically getting themselves into some like deep shit that.
They tried to go into like the far corners of the world, and they're like, "Well, we got to go everywhere
Yeah.
to stop evil."
Right.
So, but then they never came back, and then there was rumors and theories. And
So we just have no idea what happened to them.
Mm-mm.
They're just like a lost bit of history or whatever. Tolkien history.
Yeah, because I think Silmarillion wasn't published until 77, I want to say,
Right.
which was after his death.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
So it's basically what you're saying is
It's a mystery.
the Blue Wizards are fair game. We can do anything we want with them.
Well, no.
Yes.
No.
We could. We could write our own extended universe. Kind of like Star Wars.
Kind of like Star Wars. Nah, the Tolkien estate is very picky on
Super.
who to, include in their rights.
Yeah, which is kind of another reason why the Amazon thing is like,
I wasn't very sure of it from the start. So.
I mean, I had hopes for it.
At first I did.
Yeah. Yeah, we both were. We were both pretty hopeful.
And then
for
they
it.
kept going.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to watch The Hobbit now.
Yeah.
We're at the point in the movie where they started their journey and they're about to meet the trolls.
The favorite trolls.
The 3 trolls.
Well, it's William
Dafoe.
William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
And
and Matthew McConaughey.
I think it was like Enchanter Tim.
Enchanter Tim. There are some who call me Tim. I am an enchanter.
Well,
Yes.
Tim.
That's, yep. Yeah, Gandalf gets pissed off because the dwarves are stubborn. He leaves.
I mean, dwarves are going to be stubborn. I mean, come on, you knew exactly the kind of people you were going to be working with.
Yeah.
But Thorin is kind of a bit of a hardhead in this.
Yeah.
He did not seem this hard-headed in the books
No.
at all.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Like,
in the movies, I can get it because of like all this information they're giving us.
Yeah.
In the movie,
Yeah.
very different character in the book.
Yeah.
This actually seems kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
maybe a little like.
Thorin was more respectable
Yeah.
in the book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like his goal was to get to the mountain
Yeah.
and reclaim it as the home,
Yeah.
as his homeland.
Yeah.
Not like, screw this hobbit. He's stupid. He doesn't belong with us. And
Yeah.
like, oh, wait,
It's
no,
very
hold on.
xenophobic in the movies.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like only the dwarves.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like
I'm dwarf gang all the way.
yeah,
Like
pretty much like yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing in the movies too. I'm just like, no, I don't think. Last time I read the book, I don't think
It's
that's
like, wait,
right.
why does Thorin kind of seem like an asshole?
Yeah.
Like-
No, literally, I was just like,
Legit.
I don't think that actually happened. Like, he might have been like a little iffy about it at first,
Right.
but that's about it.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like, this Hobbit is gonna join us, like.
And then
okay.
the writers for like the movies are like, you know what? This little part of the movie of the book,
They hate him.
the whole movie, it's just gonna be his whole character now. And then they're just following the light.
Yeah.
I will say that Tolkien was really good at like describing, like what they
Yeah.
were seeing. He used a lot of good like descriptors.
There's a lot of readers that kind of have a debate on whether they like Tolkien's description.
I actually really liked it.
In The Hobbit, it's really good. In The Lord of the Rings, he goes really deep into detail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In The Hobbit, he does a good job, like,
I think, yeah. So far
like
it's been like
simplifying.
yeah.
things.
So far it's been like a nice little balance between like because I feel like there's like really nice moments of like dialogue,
Yeah.
and then there's also like some nice moments of like going like
Environment.
internalization,
Oh, internal. Okay.
like an internal dialogue or like internal thoughts going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
and then like describing the environment. It was like a nice
Mixture.
mixture of it that I liked. You know, it's like a nice gumbo. You know, like the seasoning's right. You know, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't realize that people had like mixed thoughts on it.
Well, it's more directed toward Lord of the Rings. I feel like,
More towards okay,
like the
okay.
books.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why some people kind of steer away from reading the books. Is that it's like, oh, there's too much detail. Like, he just goes on and on about the forest and the trees and
I mean,
the
I get
flowers.
there's a lot of forest and trees. You can just tell me that there's a lot of forest
Yeah.
and trees, and I'll get it.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
for me, I really like it just because it just goes deeper into like what he created.
I guess it makes one feel more immersed. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I guess is what he was going for. I would
Because
assume.
I think recently they actually made, I forget when they made it, but they made a book all
Yeah.
about the nature of Middle Earth.
Huh.
Like an entire book just
Really?
dedicated toward the nature of Middle Earth.
That's actually kind of cool.
Because he had so much.
Is it like
I haven't-
going off like a bit of a mixture between like the books and the movies?
Kind of, no, not the movies, just
Oh.
his writing.
Oh, just his writing and like what artwork?
I don't know. I haven't checked the book out yet.
Oh. I would hope, you know, if you're gonna have
Because he did
things-
some paintings too.
Yeah,
So,
I would hope it would have some artwork.
yeah.
Tolkien was a painter too. Jesus, fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Just going, like he made his own maps,
Mhm.
wrote his
Well,
own language.
Actually, his son Christopher, he's
did
the one.
the maps.
He's the one who did the maps.
Oh.
So this Middle Earth map is, I think, Tolkien or Christopher did.
Well, it's still Tolkien.
Yeah, I meant.
It's
that
just
'cause
Christopher,
yeah.
not.
I'm pretty sure it was Christopher who made the Middle Earth map.
Fuck, what's
Pretty sure.
Tolkien's first name? Not Christopher.
Rolkin Tolkien.
J.R.R. Yeah. I was like, hold on, I'm having a brain fart. I need another beer. Hold on.
John.
John Ryan Reynolds Tolkien.
There you go. Right, yep, you got it. Yeah. So he did. Tolkien did a lot of his own paintings. He actually did the very first image of Smaug was a simplified version, and I have that tattooed on my arm.
Oh, do you?
Yes, that's the very first.
Oh, that was your first tattoo. That's actually really cool. Yeah, I kind of forgot which one was first.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, but one of them.
Yeah, I forgot which one was first.
Yeah. But
I
no,
will say that on the show. I don't know my friend as well as I thought. Okay.
Yeah. This one was my first one.
Yeah, the band.
Yeah, the band tattoo, and then I got an Elvish tattoo, which is actually from The Hobbit, because it says there and back again,
Yeah.
but it's tattooed in Elvish. Yeah. And it's in, I think it was in Sindarin Elvish, because there's like 3 versions of Elvish. So,
Huh? I won't put it on your book.
oh, don't put it on my book.
Because there was a whole thing before.
Yeah, I opened up my kind of illustrated version of The Hobbit. Like, it has like a bunch of the story, and then it has like a big painting of Alan Lee.
Alan
Lee does a lot of painting for the Middle-earth community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, I saw a little bit of the artwork. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he's the one who does a lot of art in the movies, actually, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does a lot of like the set paintings.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot in the Lord of the Rings he did of like the backdrops and stuff and whatnot, and like the fine details, because he was a big Tolkien, like nerd.
I mean, yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you'd call it like a Tolkien nerd.
But like he's done a ton of paintings dedicated just to Tolkien's like world.
I mean, it's a lot to go through too.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's another thing. The setting between Lord of the Rings and
The Hobbit. It's very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Because it's all in CGI.
Well, yeah.
For The Hobbit.
Especially in the movie, yeah.
But that was a nice little detail that in the Lord of the Rings they had these trolls.
The trolls, yeah.
And then like they showed here in The Hobbit, it was like, oh yeah, these are those trolls.
Yeah.
Ooh, logo.
Yeah.
Korra came to my lap.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool how they they're showing how the trolls got turned into stone. I was like, oh yeah, that's...
I actually thought that was
Actually, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
How would... the cave trolls in the movie, Lord of the Rings were CGI.
Yeah.
So, it's not as big a deal here.
Well, yeah.
I
mean, you can't
I guess it's more like the set, like the background, though, because it's very CGI.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, they put a lot of, let's say, like, the environment, let's just say,
yes.
in the Hobbit movies. They filmed it first, and then they just put a whole bunch of, like, layers.
And this is
CGI
very
stuff.
different from the book, too, because weren't they all, like, with sacks and shit?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, they couldn't really see?
Mm-hmm. They were all covered up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
of them were I think they weren't they. Some of them were on the spit.
I might have missed that bit.
I would have to like go back. But
yeah, I would have to go back too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But then Bilbo was just like, trying to talk them over, and then Gandalf comes in and wha-cha!
The cat's kind of tickling me.
Oh, you can take her off.
No, it's
fine.
It's fine. I like that. I like having things to pet.
I guess so. I have 3 cats. I don't know if I said that before, but
for sure, yeah. But yeah, they
make a mess, but they're.
I'm also sure they've made themselves known on your podcast.
Well, Toby already jumped by the phone a couple times.
Stop trying to eat my headphones. They are not for eating.
They are not for eating. What about their legs? They don't need those.
Oh crap! That's Lord of the Rings again.
Oh, just a bite. Fish off, right? No, I'm sorry.
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Wubbish.
So yeah, you have any questions for me about The Hobbit?
Well, when did you did you start with reading The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings?
Like which one came first?
Like which one did you read first? Yeah.
I read Lord of the Rings first.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
Because I tried reading Silmarillion,
Oh,
but that was when I was in middle school.
yeah.
So I didn't have I did not have that attention span.
No, that's fair.
Because I read like the first couple pages and I'm like, man, how long is this gonna go? And then I like with the Silmarillion was Lord of the Rings. So we didn't have a copy of The Hobbit. What?
She's trying to get my beer.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing you want, a drunk cat.
No, they wouldn't drink it.
Who knows? I'm sure it's happened. Probably in Paris, I don't know.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so I'm just like, probably not yet. And so then I saw Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh, it's the same author. So I was like, I'll give this one a try. And I was just like, oh, what is a Hobbit? Like,
oh wow. Well, yeah, they probably weren't doing all of that.
Yeah, because
in the summer.
In the end, Lord of the Rings, they begin right away with with Hobbit.
Hobbits, because
culture.
they're basically the center. Well, the main focus.
I'd say so.
Because they're the ones holding the rings.
Yeah.
So.
But I was like,
sense.
oh, this is some cool stuff, and that kind of introduced me to like fantasy.
So that was basically your first dip into fantasy was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because I would.
Which is yeah.
Because at the time I was deep into Star Wars, and
yes, you were a Star Wars / Star Trek kid.
Not yet.
Oh, not that point?
I didn't get into Star Trek until high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Because Star Trek, it is exciting, but like in its own way.
Yeah, it's a different vibe also from Star Wars.
Very different vibe.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was deep into Star Wars, and then I
got into.
And I got into Lord of the Rings, and I was like, what? There's another book called The Hobbit, and then I read that one after that, and then the movies came out, and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Excellent timing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were basically. Yeah. Okay.
I was like right in time for the movies to come in because I read it like right before.
And to think like you gotta think like being that Lord of the Rings and that whole being like your first dip into fantasy is like. I mean, you couldn't have picked anything better. Like that's like top of the deck, right? Like highest card on the deck, Yeah,
because then I actually read from Lord of the Rings. I found Narnia.
Yeah,
and
Narnia's good too.
Got the whole book set of Narnia, and then that got me into another series called The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini, and I really, really love that series.
He's also getting a series show, right?
No, that's the Wheel of Time.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of a different one. Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, I have those over there.
Yeah.
Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and that's a huge series. That has 14 books or something. And I still need to read those. So, yeah.
One day.
one day.
But in the meantime, back to the Hobbit.
Back to the Hobbit. They're finding their swords.
Their swords.
Made by
Isn't it weird how the W is silent in sword?
I know, it's kind of weird. I don't know. English.
It's funny. And this is where Gandalf gets his sword.
Yeah.
Which
I
I honestly had no idea.
Yeah, it was just literally like a chance finding, like, hey, this sword's cool. I'll take it.
And he just uses it for the rest of his...
But then again, the swords that they find in The Hobbit, they're made from Gondolin.
Which is a big deal.
Gondolin's a huge deal in the elves, especially. Because Gondolin was a hidden city in the Silmarillion. And it was like where, like all the best...
stuff. Yeah. I get you.
There was a lot of good things that happened in Gondolin. There was
then Thorin over here in the movie is like, oh, what? This is an Elvish sword.
It's trash.
It's trash. It's garbage. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it.
Even if it's made in Gondolin. And Gandalf's like,
I don't care. Gondolin.
No.
Psh. Is that Erebor? No.
There's literally an entire book dedicated to it called The Fall of Gondolin. I mean, those swords were...
Gandalf's like, dude, the fuck? No, you're not going to find anything better than this.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
And then there's good old Sting.
Swing.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey. Yeah, so I thought it was pretty, chance opportunity for him too. It's like, hey, look, found a dagger. It's your size.
Yeah.
And Bilbo's like, wow, for me?
Because Bilbo would be the smallest and the youngest here.
Yeah.
Right?
He would be. That's very true.
And also, interesting thing I learned from the book today was that Gandalf didn't know anything about these fucking swords.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're cool. Let's go take them to somebody who knows. And then they go over to Elrond.
Yeah, then he's the one. Yeah.
He's the one who actually knows about, well, which makes sense too, honestly, because Elrond's fucking elf.
And he's old.
And he's an old elf. Yeah. When he's not busy being the Red Skull.
Or Mr. Anderson.
Or Mr. the Smith, yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Agent,
That's what it is.
Agent Smith.
Yeah, Agent Smith. There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they changed up in the movies.
Yeah. I'm just remembering all these little details from the book now.
So yeah, now that you've pretty much listened to the books, which one do you prefer?
Oh. I feel like I like them
Equally?
separately for different reasons. Because the book did a really interesting... I enjoyed the book a lot more than I thought, to be honest. It could have been Andy Serkis, to be honest. I mean, he's a very good narrator.
Yeah.
He's a very good narrator.
It does depend on the narrator, I would say.
Because if it's just going to be a monotone voice...
Yeah, but even if you, like, read the book...
Yeah.
You know, that's different, too.
Oh, yeah, that's very different, too, because I have a very different internal narrator.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't even know where I got that. I'm going to have to do some self-reflection as to where that voice came from in my head.
What, the narrator?
Yeah, my own personal narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know where I got it. But anyway.
Is it the Joker?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll need to read again on my own to remember.
Is it Batman?
That would be amazing.
Yeah. In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit.
I will not have green eggs and ham. I will not have them, Sham. You think you were born in the dark? No,
remember.
Yeah,
Remember, Frodo.
Kermit.
Home is behind, the world is ahead.
I love Kermit.
Yeah. we're both having a very Kermit.
I don't know, like we're just on a Kermit wave for like a while now.
You could say we're very Kermitted.
Terrible jokes. That's what you tune in for,
yep,
though.
terrible jokes. Us ranting about the books versus the movies, and Kermit.
Kermit puns.
Yeah.
But hey, easy there, baby. Nice and easy. Come on. Yeah, I like the books for like how it definitely feels a lot more in depth.
Yeah.
Than the movies. Whereas the movies are very visually pleasing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
The book, I don't know. It feels like you're actually. I don't know.
You can take her off. That's fine.
I believe you've lost your lap rights.
Yeah. Just pick her up by the scruff. She'll take off.
She doesn't even deserve that much.
She's gonna scratch you.
I'm gonna give her the Simba treatment. Or not the Simba, the Mufasa.
Yeah, that's better. Let's say the Simba one. Like, she's just gonna run away.
Simba! Well, I mean, Simba was caught in that position. With,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, in the second one. And in the first one, too.
But, yeah, no.
Movies are good visually. I mean, if I'm just gonna sit down and, like, watch a movie. Yeah, that's good.
Then it's good, yeah.
It's just, I mean...
Some of it doesn't make sense in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay.
I mean, now that I have knowledge of the book.
Yeah. Well, let's say, like, storyline-wise, then which one would you prefer? Like, the way that things flow and, like, the dialogue between characters and stuff like that.
I really like the dialogue that Tolkien had, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good in the movie. It is good. It's not bad. I don't know. I guess something to be said about the author, huh?
Yeah.
It's something to be said, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Oh, is this where he discovers...
He discovers the dagger from Dol Guldur.
Dol Guldur.
And pretty much, like, the first...
Hints of
Sauron.
Sauron, yeah.
Sauron returning. Yeah.
Coming back.
Pretty much.
Guess who's back?
Back again. Sauron!
Sauron's back.
Sauron's back.
Tell your friends.
Necromancer's back again.
Oh, and these are the
wargs.
These are the wolves? No.
I think those are wargs.
No, the wolves don't come out until the second film.
The wolves?
Where they have to go up into the tree.
Oh, that's the end of this one.
Oh, that's the end of this. Yes! You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still a little early there.
Yeah.
Still a little early there.
Yeah, so yeah, did you know that The Hobbit actually began when Tolkien was pretty much telling his kids just like fairy tales?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was just like bullshitting them up?
He wanted to write
A story.
a series.
But he just started off with like what, his kids?
Yeah. Like he was
That's
telling
really
his
cool.
Yeah, like he was telling his kids like a bunch of fairy tales. And I think
Wow. Okay, so that kind of makes me understand where Christopher Lee stands on a lot of things now.
Yeah.
It's like he's literally growing up listening to all these like fantastical stories at his bed before he goes to bed, like sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay.
And,
I think I get him a little bit more now.
Yeah, and like before Tolkien started writing The Hobbit, he was already writing Silmarillion stuff and like unfinished tales and writing his own language. He was
already getting like the foundations.
He was getting the bones all together, you know.
Put them all together.
Yeah, so he was already like making his fairy language, so to speak. He was making his own language, and he's like, you know what? I need a story to go with this. And then he started creating the lore, which was, kind of, what I said, Silmarillion, unfinished tales.
Not all that different to how Gary Gygax went about, like...
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because he's basically started, like, a lot of it was, like, game, like, testing it out with, like, some friends of his, but ultimately, like, the first main, like...
Manual?
The... Like the spells and stuff, like Melf's Acid Arrow.
Yeah.
His son's D&D character was a wizard named Melf who could cast this thing called Acid Arrow.
Acid Arrow.
Yeah, that's how it became like a foundation, like a big like part of D&D lore.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you never know.
Yeah. It all starts with the kids, which is fascinating.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. But then he started like. Writing stuff for his kids.
So take note for the future.
I'm already writing.
So like when you have to tell bedtime, so it's like, well,
I already have a like whenever I have kids, I'm like, we're reading The Hobbit.
Yeah, or we're doing.
It's like.
But tell me what you think about this like draft real quick.
Yeah, like, can you just read this really quick? I mean, this is for the future.
Right. It's like, what do you think? Like,
what do you think? Is this too scary for you?
Just have your kids be like your critics.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Then it's just really cool how it all.
That is honestly very dope.
How it started was when Tolkien, he was a professor in Oxford.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. He was a professor of like languages, I think, or something like that, or literature and languages. It was something. It was really high up, pretty much.
Right.
And he was grading papers.
Super English, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he spoke like how many languages? I don't know. He spoke a lot of languages. I'll just say that. And he was grading a paper, and like I think it was like on like the back sheet, he was like just like wandering aloud, and he just put in a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit.
Oh wow, that's just.
And that's it. That's how it began.
Just going off of that. Boom.
And he's just like, what is a hobbit? Like he just made up the word, and he's like, what is a hobbit?
This is what I think of when I say the word hobbit.
Yeah, and then from then on, wrote the book, and then it got published, and everybody's like, this is super cool. We need more. And then he started writing Lord of the Rings. After that, it was like more mature level story. Yeah.
Okay.
And then people love that one, and then it got super popular. So.
That's fascinating, actually.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was all with kids and then.
I know, right? It's cool. And now we got CGI characters.
Well, it's not so much about. I think I was about to say something profound, but it left me. So.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
One too many beers. Or maybe not enough beers, so we've got to fix that.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else?
Well, did they do these scenes in that same location where Aragorn got pulled off the fucking cliffside? Because it kind of looks like
it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, right? Or like all the orcs and their wargs.
I'm not sure if it was the exact location or not.
No, but I think it's like very inspired.
It would, it's probably inspired by it, yeah. Because,
To make it feel like it's still in the same world, you know?
right, because when Aragorn was pulled off the cliff, that was around Helm's Deep. Like on,
So in
on
Rohan.
their way, and that's Rohan.
Oh yeah, definitely not even.
way
yeah.
south.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah.
Are you talking about like the characters and like in the, or the
Some of the
actual
orcs kind of
scene?
seems. I mean, it could just be
Just you random.
like me and just like, oh yeah, stock like orc look.
Yeah.
We're just gonna reuse that.
I'd say like a couple of them
Yeah.
probably had that mask on and whatever,
Maybe.
but most of it was...
If they had any left over, you know,
Yeah.
from like the last decade.
Yeah.
Basically. Wait, were those the ones who like just came to save them in the movie? Were they the elves?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded like one of those like elven war horns, you know?
Yeah, I think that was the same horn from Lord of the Rings as well, the movie.
Oh yeah. What, Two Towers?
The Two Towers when
Yeah,
they
when
come
they start coming
to Helm's
in.
Deep. Yeah.
Which is really dope.
It was very cool. It didn't happen in the
Didn't
books.
happen in the books up here, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, so cool that they showed up.
Yeah. No, that didn't happen in the books. The strength of men
Was the only thing.
proved to be victorious that day.
And the elves were like, oh shit.
Yeah. And everybody else was like,
Oh, shit.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe we should send help?
Help! I'm not dead!
You're not fooling anybody. Oh, this is where they first make it to Rivendell. Rivendell.
Yeah, here they make it to Rivendell. This is a place called Imladris.
I just say one word.
yeah.
Come out with this whole other personality.
Yeah. It's my kid speech, you know. Sometimes they swear the words a little bit.
It's not adorable.
No, it's not.
It depends on the kid, though.
Yeah, it really does.
It just doesn't work on white kids like that.
Yeah, so now they made it to Rivendell. Yay!
And Thorne's being very xenophobic again.
Yep, again. Even though...
We kind of need a place to stay.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, we're gonna go to the elves. I'd rather stay out in this waterfall.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I would literally rather be out in the elements
And risk the safety of everybody's lives. Yeah.
than go and accept help from an elf.
Plus,
Because Gimli always said, never trust an elf.
never trust an elf. I would rather be dead than see the ring in the hands of an elf.
Yeah.
Never trust an elf.
Gimli was right. All those actors became villains in the
Yeah.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
All the elves.
That's what would happen if Galadriel had the ring.
Mhm.
She would turn evil.
Literally, she would become Hela.
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 Yeah. She would be hella evil.
But
But this is not about that.
quality jokes.
This is about the Hobbit.
Slightly less quality jokes.
Yeah.
It's of a certain quality that might not be used as good, but a quality nonetheless.
So, in the Hobbit,
Okay.
did you ever see differences between?
Yeah, the fucking elves were so different. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. Right.
They're just like singing around and dancing.
Yeah.
And then the elves over here, like in the movie,
They're all like super stern
stern
and
and serious and
Yeah.
kind of like graceful. Like they still have like an air of grace,
yeah.
but it's not like this whole like sing-songy like fairy tale, you know? I was like, what the fuck? Are we talking about elves right now? Or are we just talking about like people?
Yeah.
Like what?
You'll
I'm
notice in the books that elves, they sing a lot.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's
I
because
didn't hear it.
here's the thing though. It's because in the Silmarillion,
Oh.
how everything began
Oh, it was with song.
was
yeah.
with song.
Song of creation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Song of creation.
Yeah.
And who was the first children of Ilúvatar? The elves.
The elves.
That's why they do a lot of singing
Makes
and
sense.
dancing, I guess. But I could see the singing part very
Yeah.
much, like coming from what knowledge I have.
They probably could have done that in these movies. They could have.
Could have, but they're like, no, elves are stern and strict. Yeah.
Very copy paste.
Yeah, I was
moments.
gonna ask you about like the difference
Elves.
between elves.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like listening to the song that Andy Serkis is
Oh
singing.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what they say. Like a game of hopscotch or something. I don't know. Like they're just playing around and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sure. Tell me these things were just like fucking art, like war masters and shit.
Yeah.
Like there's like, oh, I mean, everybody here is like pretty chill, but Elrond's like the one who's like, yeah, he's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's because he has.
Yeah, he has.
Like I get that.
He was there when the strength of men fell.
I was there again now. 3,000 years ago.
Fucking elves, man.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you even remember that long?
I don't know. Well, I mean, with such a like monumental piece of history.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's even before the Hobbit. Is when
way
Sauron
before.
fell. So.
3,000 years. Holy fuck. Now that I put that into perspective.
I mean, Gollum had the ring for 500 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a long time by itself. Just him keeping the ring in the cave.
And then Sauron's just like on the back burner.
Yeah, well, he was trying to like gather
Come
his
back, yeah.
physical strength because
Yeah.
he was still in the spirit.
Yeah. I mean, he was still like doing some like he was still
Some
fucking
shady
around.
stuff. Yeah.
Just not like in the way he used to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not as directly as
Back when he
used
was
to.
Anatar.
Yeah.
Yes.
And more civilized.
A more civilized age. Actually, yeah, Anatar was his light form. And then he fell into
Hey,
darkness.
this guy, he's trying to get with the elf girl. Fucking, what was that, Keely? Or
Keely.
Yeah, it's Keely, right?
Yeah. Keely's trying to like flirt with this elf girl.
Elf girl in the movie.
And then
I'm like, oh yeah?
And then he looks at this other one.
This
It's not an elf maid. It's a guy!
It's a man. It's like, yeah?
It's just like, oh, no.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
He's like, yep.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. There's these androgynous, especially the elves.
In the elves.
There's
Yeah.
be these androgynous types.
Well, the elves have a lot of like fair skin and like no beards ever.
And then all the dwarves are just being like assholes to
Yeah.
them, basically, as they're like trying to present them some
Yep.
hospitality. And now we get to the actual book part of like Elrond actually telling them, "Oh yeah, these are like really dope ass swords."
Yep. I think this is where he says that they're forged in Gondolin. I think so.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he knows. Yeah, he knows. You know all about sword. There it is. Yeah.
Sword of the King of Gondolin.
Yeah.
Not at all my best Elrond voice, but you know,
Yeah.
I
That's
think
fine.
the epicness got.
Huh?
You know, I think the epicness of the sword got passed. You know, through my performance in that.
Okay. We'll just we'll say that.
We'll just say that. Humor me, goddammit.
Okay. No, I actually have a replica of a few swords
You do?
of Middle Earth.
Yes, I play around with them every time.
And I'll keep the other two by itself for the next episode.
For the next.
But this one, I have the replica of Sting, and it's Hobbit sized.
Really?
Well, it's how big.
It's like
Bilbo would have held
Bilbo would have. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah,
Really? Okay. So.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because they're probably like what the size of like a 9-year-old boy.
Well, they're like 3'5" on
So
average.
like 6 years old.
Yeah, they're tiny, and so like holding a like a.
They are small. They would look like mere children to your eyes.
Oh, here they come singing.
Yeah.
Yep,
Here comes the singer.
the dwarves are singing.
There's always got to be a bard in the party.
That's him.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of them are like D&D archetypes, aren't they?
Yeah.
You got your fighters.
Yep.
You got your. I mean, I don't
Wizard.
know if anybody's like. Yeah, well, you got your wizard. I
Yeah,
don't think
you got
any
your
of them.
halfling.
Is there like? Would you consider somebody here as a barbarian?
A barbarian? I would
was
say
thinking maybe
Dwalin.
Dwalin, right? Yeah.
Dwalin's probably the
Dwalin feels
barbarian.
barbarian. Most everybody else is like fighter. I guess
Yeah.
Bilbo's kind of like the rogue in a sense because he has to go do a lot of sneaking.
He does a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And he can sneak around a lot of places. Yeah,
Maybe some rangers in there, you know.
maybe. feeling Keeley could probably be like the ranger
Yeah,
type.
I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that. 'Cause in the book, they do get sent off to like scout.
They do scouting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Like
So
a
it's
like
bit
a
of a-
D&D
yeah.
party.
I
Yeah.
can see it as a D&D party.
Mm-hmm.
See, we squeeze in a little D&D there.
Yeah, we
Everything's
decided.
D&D.
We decided to take a break
for the D&D
for
today.
this week for the D&D book, just
Yeah.
because like we haven't decided on a book
Yeah,
to cover, and also we're watching The Hobbit
yeah.
extended.
That takes
edition,
a little bit longer too.
Takes longer. Yeah, we're already an
an hour and a half. Holy shit!
So
Yeah.
they're long movies.
It's,
so.
it's a longer episode.
Yeah, it is.
So I mean, hey, we're like what at the halfway point?
Of this movie, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
yeah. That's a fair bit.
Yeah.
That's still a fair bit.
So I don't know. Do you have anything else to talk about in The Hobbit?
Okay, so I guess I feel like it would have been like maybe what your role would have been in the company if you were in the company. That's an interesting question, I feel.
Like if I had to choose, or
I don't know. Like, let's start with like if you had to choose, like, who would you,
of the whole company?
Yeah.
Of who would I choose?
Yeah.
I would not choose Bilbo.
No.
For sure not. Because I don't want to face a dragon
Okay.
that can melt my face off in seconds.
That's fair.
So probably not that. I would not choose Gandalf because I would have to lead everything, and I'm not a good. I don't think I'm that great of a leader.
Okay. No, I'll let you finish.
Man, that's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Would you say like, if I had to choose, like how I would like to fit in?
Okay, I guess my question would have been like if you had to choose like a group of individuals in The Hobbit to, I guess, go and try to do that mission. Would you choose like the actual like company of dwarves, or would you choose like other figures in like Lord of the Rings?
Well,
That would be a little bit easier. Yeah. I feel like
Kind of
that'd be a little
different
bit easier.
because the figures in Lord of the Rings, most of them weren't even born when
True.
The Hobbit was.
True, but like this is like a big like what if, like if like maybe
so you're
they did.
combining?
Yeah, kind of a bit of a combination. Like things will overlap here in like this alternate, like
Yeah. I mean, that's difficult too because
Yeah, so I guess if you had to pick like three people
three people
to
do
fight
what?
the fucking dragon.
to fight the dragon.
Yeah.
So
Who do you need?
me plus three people.
Yes, you plus three.
Gandalf,
Gandalf.
number one, because he's a wizard and
gotta
he's
have
very
magic.
powerful.
Yeah. Gandalf the Grey,
No, Gandalf the White.
obviously.
Yeah, he's actually more powerful.
He's a lot more
Gandalf the
powerful
White.
as Gandalf
Yeah.
the White. White supremacy. Anyway.
Two. This is a hard
It
question.
is a hard one. There's a lot of powerful.
So we're
figures
taking
here.
over the mountain,
Killing the dragon.
killing the dragon,
Yeah.
slaying the dragon.
Yeah.
I
Or
would say-
if you feel like you could defeat the dragon in another way, like I would like to hear your reasoning.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I would choose Gandalf.
Uh huh.
I would also choose Bilbo
Okay.
because he can kind of persuade Smog to stay where he is for a while. Like
He's actually really good with his wits.
he's very
I
good.
feel like he's
with,
a lot better with his wits than Frodo was. to be
he
honest.
is actually.
Yeah.
He's very good with his words.
Yeah.
And Bard, the guy.
Bard the Bowman? Yeah?
Mhm, yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting choice. I thought you would have gone with Legolas or something.
No, because Bard's the one who actually slays Smaug.
True.
He's the one that has the black arrow.
He's the one who actually. Yeah, you're right.
Because Legolas, he probably knows about it, but he doesn't know where it is,
True.
and he doesn't really know how to wield it.
True.
So actually,
That's
to
a
be
really
honest,
good-
that's all the Hobbit characters. Gandalf,
Yeah, you did everything
Gandalf,
Hobbit.
Bilbo, and Bard. I
Yeah.
didn't even plan it that way.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so if I had to get like a group of individuals to.
Wait, can I put in Sauron? No.
Sauron.
Sauron, Saruman,
Yeah.
and Gandalf.
Just straight wizards.
Yeah, just
just
all
straight
wizards.
magic.
You got a necromancer, a dark wizard, and just like a resurrected wizard.
What? Okay, so.
It's pretty powerful.
Think
Can I substitute mine for Iluvatar, God?
just God itself to help you fight. Yeah, see, this isn't a fair one because you actually know more about
yeah,
this than I do.
yeah. I do. Anyway, I do.
That's it. No, I thought that was like a fun one actually.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna change the disc while you think about it. Because
Oh yeah, you gotta move it to part.
I have to change discs.
Yeah. That's one of those that doesn't have the full thing.
No.
No?
It's I have 3 extra discs for behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, because there's like hours of content. Toberto, that is not what you do pillows with.
What's your answer?
So if I had to pick 3 individuals, and we're just keeping this Lord of the Rings centric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever character that you know.
Within Lord of the Rings.
Just whatever character you know. I mean, you have to know what their backstory is, though. Like who they are and stuff.
True.
Because you can't just say Ilúvatar.
Obviously. No, I'm not going to know who the fuck that is.
You can't just say Anatar.
Yeah, I'm not going to know who the fuck that is.
That's Sauron.
Ah! Yeah. There it is.
Have you haven't decided yet?
If I had to pick, I would probably go more Lord of the Rings then, because I know more about that. Gandalf, I feel like, is a must-have, regardless. Especially if it's Gandalf the White. I mean, come on.
Right, the resurrected wizard.
Honestly, maybe Gimli.
Really?
Maybe.
How
Gimli.
come?
Well, he's kind of a badass with the axe. And I
Well,
know that
yeah, but
you can
against Smog, though?
True. I feel like he might come in handy in a way that maybe I won't know off like the top of my head, but I feel like because he's like that reliable kind of dwarf that like if you need something to get done, he'll get it done.
Okay.
So for that much, I'm like okay, and I feel like maybe Gandalf will know how to use it.
It's like if he's like setting up like some sort of elaborate
attack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at the very least a distraction.
Or a distraction,
You
yeah.
know? And then somebody who would have to. I mean, I would have to go. Bards honestly was going to be my choice initially.
Yeah.
I feel like now I need to pick different.
No, you can still pick Bard.
No, yeah, Bard, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
he's the one who slays Smog.
Because it's Luke Evans.
Because it's Luke Evans. That's your reasoning. That's funny.
I don't know much about Bard outside of the movie yet, so I don't think he's even in the book, is he?
He's in the book.
He's in the book?
Yeah, he's in the book.
I don't remember if I heard him.
You'll see him later.
I mean, of course, I'll see him later.
I mean, you'll hear him later. You'll hear about him later.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like in the movies he kind of had like a much larger role.
Yeah, he did.
He got introduced a lot sooner, I guess.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh man, 3 characters. I don't think 3 characters could
Would
really
be
bring
enough.
down
No,
Smog.
but if you absolutely need to, I guess okay.
But I mean, the question's over already.
Yeah,
so,
the question's
over. Man, no, that's the Lord of the Rings question, man. This is man.
It's hard.
I know
It's hard.
it's very hard to stray away from the Hobbit. Just
I feel like because it's Hobbit Day though, we can kind of like overlap a few because it's kind of like Tolkien's kind of like the big umbrella we're working off of here.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe we could do like maybe 1 or 2.
I'll save my question for when we watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a very Lord of the Rings centered
Okay.
question.
I guess see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Whenever we come back to this, shouldn't take too long.
How did you? Obviously, I know this answer, but how did you portray Smog in the movies? Like, how did you like it?
Oh, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, very menacing. Extremely.
Did you have any problems with it?
No, actually.
No problems with Smog?
Not at all. I mean, I haven't gotten to that part in the book yet either.
I'll say this much, is that they did a good job, actually, portraying Smog in the movies compared to the books.
I mean, yeah.
Because Smog is a very intelligent dragon.
Yeah.
And even in the movies, they actually portray him as an intelligent dragon.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, this is actually good then.
And that's the thing about these creatures. It's not just brute force that they're working with. They have a shit ton of brute force, and they're smart as fuck. That's the thing that makes them so deadly. Otherwise, you know, any idiot with a fucking crossbow could...
Yeah,
with a black arrow could have
like,
killed a dragon.
The thing is, like, intelligent dragons are bad.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go against them.
No. Dragons
Especially-
are generally a no-go.
Especially if it's like a confident, selfish,
Very
intelligent
narcissist.
dragon. Yeah.
Very narcissistic.
Yeah.
Ego is super inflated, but why wouldn't it be like your...
What's a dragon?
Like, yeah, like, why wouldn't your ego be that? Because, like, you're just, like, the biggest and the strongest thing out there. Which I don't know. Is Smaug like the last dragon in the?
He's the last dragon.
Wow.
Like, in Middle Earth, like in Arda, which is technically like the planet,
Right.
world, whatever you say. But yeah, he's the last dragon. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because the other dragons died out in like the big battles and the wars and the Silmarillion and stuff. So.
And that's where like the fighting was like very intense.
Super intense. Yeah. There was Balrogs in battle. if you can just picture that.
Oh yeah.
And he.
I fought one.
Yeah, and there was.
It was fun and terrifying.
Yeah, there's little literal dragons in the battlefield eventually.
It had to be though at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad back then.
Smaug the last dragon.
Smaug the last dragon.
And it also adds to like the ego. Like, why wouldn't you think you are the biggest and the baddest when you literally are the biggest and the baddest thing?
Yeah.
Only thing maybe like Sauron. Well, how do you think an interaction between Smaug and Sauron would have gone?
Well, Sauron was very good with his words.
True, he probably could.
He's a very cunning being, I should say, being.
Yeah.
Because he actually he persuaded who was it? I think it was Shelob, the spider.
Oh, really?
To stay away from his like mainland in Mordor. Like he's like, you can keep your like tunnels and like your own little fortress up in this mountain, but just don't come into my land, pretty much. And Shelob's pretty, like dangerous, obviously. Oh, yeah. But he has I think he has like cunning words, so I think neither of them would battle. Neither of them would really duel each other. Just because Smog knows about Sauron, and then Sauron just kind of like measures Smog up to like, okay, well, how can I beat him somehow? Right.
Okay. So like, I guess they kind of have like a bit of like a mutual understanding, if not, like, not so much like rivalry or but like it would probably have like a bit of an understanding of like, okay, you do your thing over there and I'll do my thing over here.
Pretty much, because like in the movies,
like neighbors in a sense, like okay.
Yeah, because like in the movies, Smog is like, oh, the darkness is coming, so he already knows that Sauron's on the move.
Oh yeah.
But he's just like, I don't really care. I'm just gonna stay in my mountain.
Like legit, I don't like. It's not an issue to me. Like,
yeah. And then Sauron's just like, okay, there's a dragon in the mountain. Who cares? He's been there for freaking so many years. He's not gonna come out.
No, if those two would have teamed up though.
Eesh. Devastating.
Devastating.
That would be devastating.
Yeah. It'd be more post-apocalyptic Middle Earth by the time we get to Lord of the Rings.
There would be no Lord of the Rings.
There would
be no Shire.
There would be no Shire. There would be no Shire.
Mr. Frodo.
Mr. Frodo.
I wouldn't say there wouldn't be no Shire, but it'd be bad.
I'm saying like it would probably be like if like the best case scenario is like a dystopian world.
Yeah.
Where like, and maybe at some point the only reason they would maybe even have a chance is because maybe Smaug and Sauron are duking it out.
Yeah, like they have a disagreement with
Yeah, because eventually, like, that's the thing about these huge egos is that they're going to try and
because eventually Sauron would want to take control of, the southern regions, like Rohan and Gondor and stuff like that.
Conquest doesn't just stop at, like, oh, yeah, we're cool. We won't attack or anything. And then, as soon as they see, like, a moment of weakness or any opening, they're going to take it.
Because then as soon as they're done with the southern countries, like, oh, let's go.
And honestly, I would see maybe Smaug might do something similar.
He could do, He could take over. Well, I mean, he destroyed an entire city.
Just because he's like, oh, hey, burn shit, get money. That's
he's
what I do.
I smell pennies. And he's just like...
Is that copper?
No, it's gold.
It's gold.
I love gold.
The original gold member.
Smog. That's where they got it from.
But eventually those two would have had to have duked it out in that dystopian world, and then maybe they make it through. I don't think Frodo and Sam would have survived.
No.
Like after they do the thing, like nah. Because
that's another.
By then, eagles are gone. I would imagine. Like
probably
most
not,
of the.
Actually.
Do you think?
No, because
what's the eagles' deal then?
Eagles, they stay in their own little establishment in the mountains.
True, but they
I don't-
probably would have been like at least threatened, if not.
They'd be threatened, but I feel like if they knew what they were up against, like with Sauron and Smog,
They just won't fuck with
they'd
that.
be like,
we're
probably
gonna
not.
go to like the desert. We're just not gonna be around
Yeah.
here. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
don't
what I'm
know.
saying.
It's a very big what if, because this is also, is this if Sauron has the Ring of Power or without?
I'm assuming that he doesn't have the Ring of Power.
Doesn't, because that's a game changer, obviously. So
I'm saying, like, assuming that the events of, like, Lord of the Rings do still happen, in the sense of, like, there's a fellowship that's forming. Maybe it's not, like, the same group
same
of, you know,
people, yeah.
maybe it's, like, Aragorn with, like, missing an arm and with, like, a lost eye or something.
He's a pirate.
He's, like, a
Aragorn.
pirate or something. He has, like, a prosthetic arm or something. I don't know. Like,
Because I was gonna say, like,
very, very post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max, basically, is what I'm seeing here.
taking down a dragon.
Like,
We're gonna do it.
It's just a lot of, like, spiky armor and...
Yeah. So I was gonna say, if Sauron had the ring, he could probably destroy Smog.
Oh no! If Sauron had the ring, yeah,
He would kill Smog.
yeah.
He'd be like, no, get out of here.
Get out of here, scrub.
Get this stupid lizard out of here. Come on.
Hey,
Dragon. I don't do that. I
Hey.
don't do that tongue.
go get me my dinner, bitch.
Pretty much.
Backhand him with the ring.
Yeah. Yeah. With his big mace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit.
Pa!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it would have been difficult. What if?
Yeah, big what if. So, let's see. Any other questions
I think.
regarding the Hobbit?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah?
Honestly.
Yeah, I couldn't really think of a lot of Hobbit questions, except
Yeah.
for, like, the comparisons between the books and
Yeah.
the movies, because there's big debates about all that.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of it is just that. To be
Yeah.
honest, I feel.
And this is our longest episode,
Oh yeah.
because of our comparisons and the rants and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we had like a few little sidebars here and there, but I think we did okay.
Yeah.
I think this is a good one.
Yeah.
And they still have like a ways to go too.
Oh yeah, they do. They still gotta like.
They still gotta go through like the Thunder Clash.
Yeah,
like,
the Thunder Battle.
the Stone Giants. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, Stone Giants.
I'm like,
and-
what the fuck? Why isn't like the world like at the brink of like destruction here?
Yeah.
Because these guys are just what, throwing a ball around like
Yeah,
the
like,
fuck?
"Roar."
Yeah, they're just playing
Yeah.
football.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta do that. They gotta go through the Goblin tunnels.
Yeah, the Goblin Kingdom.
And then, I was gonna say Frodo. Bilbo's gotta meet Gollum.
Yeah.
They
Do
gotta
the
do
riddle battle.
riddles in the dark.
Epic riddle battles of
Of history.
history. Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins, Baggins.
No!
Ice Bagel, begin.
I actually want to see RP
I-
do a fucking Gollum.
Gollum versus Bilbo.
I don't even know who like Gollum would go up against.
Dobby from Harry Potter.
Yeah, Dobby. That would be the one. Yeah.
Dobby versus Gollum.
Yep. Oh my god, that could work.
That would be so funny.
That would be so stupid.
That would
love
be
it.
very stupid.
I would love it. Oh my god. And Gandalf over here.
Trying to be all poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still kind of has like. I feel like they show him as like having feelings for Galadriel, or at least like an attraction.
Yeah, he kind of like in the movies he had like an attraction for Galadriel, but it's like, yeah, she's like a couple thousand years older than you, so.
True.
And she has.
It's not really like a
No.
book thing either.
Yeah, she doesn't. Neither of them have an interest in each other.
No.
It's just they're both very old.
So they kind of have like a bit more of an understanding. I guess it's more like.
They have a better
Okay,
understanding.
we have like a better understanding of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much like.
I wouldn't
we've-
say. I guess attraction is the wrong word, but just like it's just more of like a mutual. Like you've seen some shit, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like the only people in
It's
the
like-
world we
it's
could
like the-
talk to like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the very rare,
Yeah.
rare kind, I
Yeah.
guess. Because they're, because Gandalf's a Maiar, and
Mhm.
Galadriel's, an elf. So it's like,
God, could you imagine those two actually
Yeah. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. Just because, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The Maiar have very...
I don't know, man. They have like a whole chessboard of it's them too, you know, like...
That is pretty funny, actually, how it works out.
I feel like there might be some, like, low-key, like,
what happened? What
I have
would
urgent
happen?
business to take care of.
Sorry, dwarves, I gotta dip for a bit.
I gotta go, take care of...
You know what? You guys go on ahead. I've got some business to
I gotta
take care
go
of.
cut some lumber real quick. Like, just, yeah. And then Misty Mountain Cults being the overall theme for the movies.
What, the what?
The Misty
Oh,
Mountain
the Misty
Cult.
Mountains? I did like that song.
That song
From
was
here.
dope as
Yeah.
fuck. Dope
Yep.
as fuck.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that TikTok of like all the guys who are like basically doing like a whole group song
Oh, and they do
collaboration.
They do the
Yeah, where
Misty
like everybody
Mountains.
does the Misty Mountains with like deep ass
Yeah,
voices.
deep voices.
And then it just keeps being added onto by like
Oh,
other
that's
people.
cool. That's cool.
You know? Yeah, it's really cool.
Nice.
And then Thunder Battle.
Thunder battle. This is no thunderstorm.
This is not
It's a thunder battle. That's what I mean. It's
This is Thunderdome.
This is WWE SmackDown.
Super Slam.
Who's gonna win?
Stone Giant.
It's
number
The Rock
one.
Johnson
It's The Rock against The Rock.
against
the
a Rock.
Boulder. The Rock versus the Boulder.
The Rock versus the Boulder.
Thunder Battle.
It's a thunder battle. Oh no.
Dude, I'd be like, fuck this shit. Nothing's worth this much.
Well, I mean, they're stuck there now.
Yeah. Stone Giants.
Stone
That
Giants.
thing's a whole mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't catch that, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What if these guys were like frat boys, basically?
Yeah.
Just like practicing football, like at a party.
Hey man, catch her. And then,
Like,
like,
oh god.
and then this
like-
guy's just waking up from his nap, like, okay, guys.
And he just like woke up from his hungover, and this guy never stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Just kept on throwing the ball at whoever started coming his way.
Like, let me show you how it's done.
And now they're legit gonna
Smack!
duke it out. How the hell are you gonna start with a headbutt in the front?
I don't know. They're made out of
Nobody
rock
wins on a
on a
headbutt.
headbutt. Yeah.
Well,
Any other further comments on The Hobbit?
nah.
No?
Outside of like
Critiquing it?
critiquing it, nah.
Probably not.
Probably not. I guess I will say this about the Goblin King.
Yeah.
He's basically just a big nerd.
What,
the movies.
The Goblin King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he is about
He knows
like,
all about like
the
lore and
swords
stuff.
lore. Which I thought was very funny, to be honest. The fact he's like, oh, it's the faux hammer!
Yeah.
Oh, it's the...
The Goblin Cleaver.
Goblin
That's the
Cleaver.
one that slayed our kin. Oh no.
Oh, no. What are you gonna do now, wizard?
What do you know, wizard? And he like cuts his throat. That'll do.
Like, oh, what are you gonna do? Stab me?
Yeah.
Oh god, you stabbed me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Goblin King's a character.
That was an interesting character.
To be honest, I don't think he was all that different from the books. Not really.
No. The Goblin Kingdom was very...
It's kind of like very pass. Like we're just trying to pass on through because we are not about to spend like all these chapters up in here. Like, no, we got to get the fuck out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, we needed a way through the mountains, and here's the passage through. Yeah, they end up...
These guys just came and fucked their plans. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But nah, I think that's it for me. I guess I don't know. Did you have anything to say about like Lake Town and? I don't know.
I did like how they portrayed Lake Town in the movies.
Yeah.
Just like the overall vibe of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, okay. Like I could, like they did a pretty decent job.
Honestly, like from what I've listened to,
Yeah.
it's pretty spot on.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah. Like just overall.
Yeah.
Like the way that they portrayed Lake Town. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
The master was pretty
Pretty spot on.
pretty spot on
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
All his little like underlings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought was like a nice little addition. I don't think that was in the books. His little.
No,
No, I thought that
not
was
so much.
I thought that was a nice thing for the movie, though. I didn't hate that. I thought that was actually really, yeah. It made
Yeah.
sense to me that there would be this guy working
would
for
be.
the master who's
I
trying
feel
to
like-
like basically live like still trying to like muscle a bit of it, or not muscle, but like use some of the master's influence for his own.
For his own good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, definitely has to be a guy like that there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he was highly influenced by Grima Wormtongue from the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, he's just like another.
He's just
another
another
Grima.
Grima,
He's another
basically.
Grima, but in the Hobbit. Yeah.
But still, like very much his own character though, because Grima was very like
Slithery,
very,
slinky,
like,
and
yeah.
then like the other guy was just like he's just there.
he's just a weasel.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, and he doesn't get killed. So.
Oh yeah, he gets away with it.
Well, he does get
Oh, no,
killed,
well,
but
yeah.
by a really stupid way. But
Yeah. Yeah. Never mind.
that abomination. Yeah.
Didn't make it through.
Yeah. No, Lake Town. I actually like Lake Town.
Yeah.
The way that they put it in the movies, that was good.
I haven't gotten to the Battle of the Five Armies, but what did you think?
Battle of the Five Armies.
Like
well,
book towards movie. Is it very different? Or is it
well,
just not as well done?
okay, just take the whole thing of Thorin barricading himself in. Just get rid of all that.
Really?
Yeah, and
So none of that dragon sickness thing, or?
No.
Wow, that was kind of like a big deal for the third movie.
yeah, it was.
Ooh.
That's why I was pretty pissed off because I
By
was
the third
like,
movie?
aren't they supposed to be in battle?
Yeah.
Because there is actual, 5 armies and a big
Right.
battle,
Right.
and eventually they're all against the, the goblins and the orcs, because they all come and they want to steal the gold and stuff. And,
I mean, it's a lot of money.
yeah,
Who
so
doesn't wanna pay
every like all the 5 armies pile up on Erebor, and they're just like, okay, one humongo battle, and it is pretty cool. I liked it in the books. It was really epic and stuff, and I liked the battle, and certain people die
Okay.
during the battle.
Okay.
Um,
Different from the movie.
kind of, because
Okay.
Thorin dies,
Oh yeah, I mean.
and Fili and Kili, I think they both die, if I remember.
Oh yeah, the Land of Durin.
The Land of Durin ends,
Yeah.
I think, or unless either Fili or Kili die, one of them,
One or
and
the
then
other?
and then the other one dies later by
Oh.
trying to reclaim Moria again.
Oh.
And I know,
okay.
who was it? Ori and
Oh, do you actually know?
Balin.
Do you
Balin.
Balin, yeah.
Balin is obviously he's the one in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the one who
He's
died.
the one with the tomb.
Yeah.
And I think it's either Nori or Ori.
Who read down the book?
I think it's Nori who's the one who has
Yeah.
the book.
Yeah.
And he's the one who also dies in Moria. So there's 3 of them who die at Moria.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct, I don't know. I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
But eventually, Durin's line actually
Ends.
does end.
I mean, hey, they just threw themselves to one too many dragons, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? It
Funny
does
thing
that.
is, none of them die.
They didn't
from
die
a
because of the
dragon.
dragon. It's just after the dragon.
It's just the big battle that
That
happens.
comes after the dragon.
Yeah.
So, the big battle probably wouldn't have happened if the dragon was still around, though.
Yeah, probably not.
So,
Because as soon as the dragon would
died, it was like, okay, it's up for grabs.
Everybody
rush the mountain.
get to the mountain, do it. And then
Legit.
obviously the dwarves were there first, and then
Interesting.
yeah. But I mean,
Okay.
that's kind of
Alright,
my
I
say
think,
on it. But
I think that's everything, though, because that's basically the whole
I think it is
trilogy of
everything.
movies and the and the book. So I think we got it.
Yeah,
So-
longest episode yet.
Yeah,
2 hours.
2 hours.
Woo!
Good chunk. But yeah.
Yep, that's that. So I think we can consider The Hobbit dried out.
Dried out. Yeah.
Just The Hobbit, though.
Just the Hobbit.
We'll come back for Lord of the Rings, and maybe we'll slip in a few Hobbit references.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
I'll probably be done with like the Hobbit audiobook by then.
Yeah, probably.
So good chance.
But yeah, I think for now we're all good to go.
Ooh, one other thing.
Oh yeah.
These guys look nasty as fuck here.
Yeah, I know. The goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't really describe the goblins as much in the Hobbit, huh? They're just like, oh, they're goblins.
They're like just nasty.
They're nasty.
nasty creatures that
They
live
like
in the
things.
caves.
They like killing things. especially like machinery that kills a lot of people without them having to get their hands dirty.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can
Okay,
see that.
yeah.
Makes sense.
They don't want to do the work.
They don't want to go through like all the trouble.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah,
Just put them in the stretcher.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just get rid of all that right now. Fucking lazy ass
Yeah.
motherfucker. All right, well, yeah, I think we're all dried out. So,
I think so too.
well, happy Hobbit Day, Jaxie.
Happy Hobbit Day.
But-
That was a good
Yeah.
that was a good Hobbit Day.
That was a good Hobbit Day. Just talking about the Hobbit.
We're-
Mostly.
Mostly.
We're getting better, I feel.
Yeah.
I think we're getting better.
Yeah.
Especially now that these episodes are getting longer.
Yeah. No kidding.
All right, y'all.
We'll meet you in the next episode with
Yeah.
whatever movie we
Yeah.
decide.
Maybe something spooky, maybe... I mean, who the fuck knows?
Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Anyway, bye!
Bye.